Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has no intention of putting someone else's needs or even fairness ahead of what they want. We have this King of Wands or King of Candles who is making not the best decisions or not really concerning themselves with how their decisions impact others because they know what they want and they're okay with other people who, might get in the way, getting thrown under the bus. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime. Ooh, or a lot, a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. That's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Capo. Hello, Rachel. How are we doing today? Let's dive in with the situations deck and we can figure out if this is more along the side of like I'm doing what I need to because money, or if this is maybe somebody who is not really concerned if they hurt someone's feelings and more of like a love triangle. And there it is. I think that answers that. Love, adore, admire, enchantment, and crickets. So this could be a love triangle where there are some differences of opinion where a connection stands. Maybe someone's moving to get into a new relationship and a person from their past still feels like there's unfinished business. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Redbeard. What's going on? I believe in you, Rachel. What else? We've got history, past happened, and single. So I did something, and I know that's the reason why our relationship ended, but I'm still in love with you, and you're, meeting new people or maybe even getting into a new relationship. So it feels like we've got a desperate ex or someone who is unwilling to give up on the thought of reconciliation. We've got signs, synchronicities. They might be looking up your social media. We have the internet card and trash, discarding, throwing out. So there's some information that they've been able to glean from the, social media website that they have access to, or maybe even that a friend was able to see, but there's a confirmation for them that you've moved on or that you might really have let them go. And this makes them feel like they have to do something to get you back. This is the Egyptian Tarot. What else do we have? 9 of Cups. 3 of Cups. 2 people want the same person. 2 people feel that one person is their soulmate. And with the 8 of Wands in the reverse, there's one person who did not take action or communicate appropriately. Therefore, someone else seems to have a bit of an edge in this rivalry. 7 of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse. Even though it was stressful for them to be honest about a situation, they did so. And that's why they have maintained contact or are in a relationship with the person the King of Wands is wanting to pursue, or doesn't really care if, anybody else has claimed. 2 of Swords in the reverse, Emperor. But it's not this King of Wands decision, right? That's what maybe they're kind of struggling with. I think they might be used to being the person who is wanted by 2 people versus someone who has a romantic rival. So they're trying to find a way to just kind of bull in a china shop, get back into this person's life. But I don't think they're going to find that they are welcome. What else do we have? Chariot in the reverse, 10 of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. This is someone who feels like things were unfair and they're coming back around to get a second chance because they feel like they're they deserve one. They feel entitled to one. But when they put this as a priority for themselves, they may realize that you have already fallen in love with someone else, or realize that you've already decided that there's something else here that is a bigger priority. You're not interested in going into another one of those cycles with this King of Wands who seems to really just think about themselves. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Three of Wands in the reverse. They had a lot of time to do right by you. They had a lot of time to learn from whatever happened between the two of you, but yet they wait until they feel like they've lost you, like the last minute, right? And I think that's frustrating for you. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Hello, Lee. How's your day? This is the Gold Foil Tarot. What else do we have? King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Six of Swords in the reverse, as well as the Devil and Temperance in the reverse. Okay, so I know that I ran into some problems. I know that I didn't treat you as well as you deserve to be treated. I know that maybe you were left waiting for me to try to fix these issues or do right by you or be honest with you. But the truth is, I've really missed you. I can't handle you not being in my life. They are coming through as the Devil, and you are coming through as Temperance, which is effectively an angel. They feel like the love that you showed them was true, and maybe they don't feel like anybody else really did love them, but they treated you maybe codependently, or maybe they played games, they were manipulative, they let arguments happen, or they let you feel less important than you really were. So they've had to realize just how important you were by going through separation. So Temperance in the reverse is the instability that they have felt with you not in their life. World in the reverse, a reference to there being unfinished business between the two of you. And they feel like that unfinished business is they have to decide, are they willing to actually be vulnerable and let you in, let you get to know who they are, or are they going to continue to try to be a mystery or keep their emotions to themselves? Emperor in the reverse, Queen of Swords, and the Hermit in the reverse. The thing is, I do feel like you have your boundaries up with this person for good cause. When they failed to do right by you, when they didn't communicate with you in a respectful manner, or they didn't really change that behavior after an apology, I feel you tried to like everything to make it work. If it's not going to work, then I need these boundaries in place, because I'm not going to continue to listen to promises that are empty or be like manipulated by someone. So you see this as somebody who is willfully ignorant. That could mean that they genuinely just don't care about becoming a better person, and they ignore the signs and the lessons around them, and that could be very frustrating for you. For others of you, this is somebody who is influenced by a group or by maybe even their own family, and they feel like it's like that they're supposed to do what everybody else expects of them. So that obviously has a negative impact on their relationships with others because they're selfish. I'm just going to say it. Like, this is what they need to work on. They need to think about other people's feelings. They need to think about other people's, I don't know, value. We don't have to invest everything in people, you know, approving of us, right? That there's a balance to it. But this is somebody who's like letting the influence come from the wrong individuals and not really apparently caring if they hurt anyone if they come back around. Oh, thank you, Lee. Did you have a question? I'm going to write down your name just in case, but I appreciate you either way. Hey, Laura. How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Rachel. All right, let's switch to a different tarot deck, actually. Just put that. This is the Meta Muse. What else do we have, please? Ten of Swords. Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands. The World in the reverse. Eight of Swords in the reverse. So they feel like they have ruined things between the two of you because they were not willing to let you know that you're the one that they want. They instead were very defensive and elusive, maybe even ghosted you or started arguments with you for no reason because, again, they feel uncomfortable with these things, right? And yeah, they can't stop thinking about you. They still feel like they have to have something, like some other chapter with you. And the Eight of Swords in the reverse is like how they react when they think they might actually be losing you. Okay, maybe I've let it go too far. I'm not going to let somebody else win you over. How's it going? I am. Oh, thank you, Lee. I appreciate you. Hey, Michael. How's your day going? So we've got Five of Wands in the reverse. I don't think this person can compete with their romantic rival the way that they think. Now, was there a very strong connection between the two of you? Yes, but I think you also over time recognize that the bond that you had with this person may have been ill-advised, or it may have been like a trauma bond. It was very codependent. And I think in part because the King of Wands wanted it to be. Does not have to be a man, but this is somebody who would have been using manipulative tactics to try to get you to be obsessed or in love or always, in their sphere somehow or always on the back burner. And I feel like the way that you look at them is based on how they made you feel and for good cause. So when they come back around, it's like, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it that way, but it's not going to generate the happiness that the King of Wands expects it to. It's like, oh, you again. Okay, what do I have to be paranoid about now because I know I'm not going to get the truth out of you? So it's like this King of Wands expects to be kind of revered, or, oh man, I've been waiting for you to come back, or I've always hoped that you would make this kind of offer for me, always hoped that you would say I'm the one. But they don't seem to fully grasp that the person they're in love with, this Queen of Swords, the person who had to put up the boundaries, they see it as, do I want to choose the person who wants to like mature with me, who is showing me respect and love and doesn't make me like question it? Or do I want to go with this person from the past that I had to block because I couldn't trust them because they were never honest with me? To whoever I'm reading for, this Queen of Swords, they're like, that's not a very difficult question. Do I want to be able to trust the person I'm with? Yeah, I do. So why would I choose you over someone that I feel I can trust? It could be that they don't really, the King of Wands may not expect that someone of such caliber would have been found by the Queen of Swords. Like maybe you would have found someone you were physically attracted to, but I feel like this is the King of Wands speaking, but I feel like you would have been like a hermit. You wouldn't have been out there trying to like meet a bunch of people. So they have this suspicion, or maybe it's a hope disguised as a suspicion, that you haven't really spent a lot of time around others that would potentially make an offer for you romantically. And so they feel like more than likely, if you had dated, you would have come across more people that had problems, and it wouldn't have taken you very long to move on, right? Again, seeing you as Temperance here, which is Sagittarius, by the way. Feeling like you probably encountered people who were interested in you, but you probably walked away. And then when they find out that you do actually have someone rather special in your life, they get jealous. Or at least it looks that way. If you are, going on your third date with somebody, that might be enough to make them upset. If you are moving in with somebody, that definitely would make them upset. This is the Fairy Lenormand. We've got the book, which is number 26, and the Rider, Rider, which is number 1. Someone who is showing up, and I got a secret to tell you. They did not tell you something. I feel it's how they look at you, whether or not they fell in love, what they want. But the problem here is it's not just enough to say that you love someone. Maybe it is for some people out there. But if you actually love someone, then you also show that love in your actions. This is someone who's very excited about saying that they love you, but they don't really know how to show you. And I feel like they're not prioritizing that part of the healing as much as they should. There's still a little bit of ego, so they feel you should just be really happy that I'm finally telling you what I feel, and then I'll work on that other stuff too, eventually, you know? Hello, Gerline, how you doing? Yep. That doesn't sound like fun, Key Controller. How did you get to that point? All right. This is the Kipper. What else do we have, please? We have Change, number 9, and Thoughts, number 16. If I don't want to lose this Queen of Swords, does not need to be a woman, or Temperance, right? Then I need to make sure that I'm thinking about the situation appropriately. Maybe the old way of approaching them isn't working anymore because they've matured. It's like they're so close to getting it, but they still are missing it because they don't realize that means they need to get all their ducks in a row first. They feel like if they're charming and honest, that's enough. But they also have to have those long-term intentions that they're claiming. Part of the reason there's been struggle in the King of Wands' life is because they have refused to accept their purpose. I think they're prioritizing the wrong things. I want to make a whole bunch of money because people will respect me if I'm rich, or I'm chasing fame and don't care who I throw under the bus. This is someone who has not made the best of choices in terms of how they use their skills or talents or how they make their money. And this, I think, has influenced the people that they're around. How do I explain this? You tend to become like those that you hang around. This is probably how a lot of people started smoking cigarettes, probably how a lot of people drink as much as they do. This is somebody who has dishonest tendencies because of the people that they surround themselves in, the industry they work in, the type of work that they do. There's something here that makes them feel like, lying isn't that bad. It's okay. So how they represent themselves to this love interest of theirs, it is a little bit hollow because it doesn't really seem to be based on integrity and morals so much as, people will be jealous of me if I'm in a relationship with you. That kind of thing isn't really genuine, is it? So there's concern from this King of Wands because they do feel like maybe they have actually lost this love interest of theirs because they aren't getting it, right? Hello, Carla. How's it going? You just need an egg timer. All right, this is the Poe Tarot. What else do we have, please? Oh, and a quick reminder to those who are in the stars or the towers for the membership, we do have a members only live stream tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. Two of Wells, or the Two of Cups. We gave the future to the winds and slumbered tranquilly in the present, weaving the dull world around us into dreams. This is someone who felt like they needed to live a very fast-paced life, the King of Wands. They may have, again, kind of lived a difficult life or prioritized the wrong things, gone after money more than anything else. not really concerned with who they may have had to kind of like step on to get there. But there's something about you that has them questioning what they're doing, how they're living their life, and whether or not they're good enough for you. That's kind of a dangerous line of questioning, right? You want to feel good about who you are and not tie it specifically to, well, I'm a good person if this person thinks I am. That can be a little concerning, right? If it was, or sorry, it was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade. The Nine of Wells is the Nine of Cups. So it feels like this is someone who's starting to like basically see that they are putting on a bit of a masquerade, a bit of a play. They are acting a part to belong in the circle of thieves. Maybe that's the problem. They're starting to understand maybe they've lost it because they didn't want to actually work on themselves. I agree with you. Page of Pause. Upon my touching him, he immediately arose, purred loudly, rubbed against my hand, and appeared delighted with my notice. This, then, was the very creature of which I was in search. So I think this is from the Black Cat. Sometimes when you find the person that you've been looking for, you don't really know what to do. Sometimes the timing is off. Sometimes you're just not prepared to see that maybe you could meet somebody like that. And I feel like that's what happened to this King of Wands. They met this Queen of Swords, and it was a little bit of a jolt because they at once acknowledged, okay, so, or began to understand, I have deep feelings for this person, and this person is calling me out or making it very clear that what I've surrounded myself with or what I've chosen for myself is a detriment to me, my integrity, my future, or future ability to be in a content relationship. So deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. So this King of Wands, no surprise then that we have the Ace of Wands, is saying, maybe I have been chasing the wrong thing. Maybe I have been dreaming about the wrong things. Maybe what I thought was super important in terms of wealth or power or notoriety or people, wanting to be around me, it's not as cool as actually being a good person or being around somebody that I could trust. Thank you again, Lee. Let me see. This week. The club. Oh no. And anything weird with X? Was there going to be more? Because I see they and then nothing else. I don't think it's stuck. Let me know, Lee. But I got you. Good luck with that key controller. This is the Pulp Tarot. We have the Magician, the Two of Swords in the reverse, Two of Cups, Hanged Man, and the King of Cups in the reverse. So the problem here is it seems pretty clear that the King of Wands came into this thinking that they had like top billing, right? Thinking that they were the one that got away for this Queen of Swords, even though there was this kind of dramatic and argumentative past. However, they arrive on the scene and realize that the person they love, this Temperance Queen of Swords person, is like basically engaged or moving in or things are serious with somebody else. And that somebody else is someone who has their things together, someone who has their ducks in a row. They're coming through as the Magician. So that would be the new love interest, new-ish, because it does seem rather serious. We have the Hanged Man and the King of Cups in the reverse. So this King of Wands is trying to decide, What do I do to potentially get this Queen of Swords to choose me instead? And they're comfortable with being a little bit dishonest or sneaky. They're okay with manipulating the situation if it means they get what they want. What they don't seem to understand is if they try to do something underhanded, if they try to do something to make the other person look bad, it's just going to make them look even less like the type of person that this Temperance Queen of Sword individual should choose. Like, okay, so I was going to maybe give you a chance, but then you went and did more of that. And so, I don't know. I think it's probably best if we don't talk because clearly you're still on the same, right? Knight of Wands in the reverse. Temperance, Six of Cups in the reverse. So they come rushing in. They tell you how they feel. They tell you you've had an influence on them. The issue is there is still more healing to do, and they don't seem to care if they cause chaos in your life as long as they get what they want. I believe it's actually the High Priestess is a match to the Hierophant. But I have definitely seen some tarot readers that see those two. I mean, it's number 1 and number 2, so it kind of makes sense to me. But then you think about how the Hierophant is sometimes referred to as the priest, and it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I would, though, say that this magician is smarter than people give them credit for, perhaps. And I feel like they understand that something is going on before it's spoken about. So they can tell that the energy has shifted for some reason with this Temperance, and they want to know what's going on. And I do feel like this Temperance, Queen of Swords person is comfortable with their connection and tell them the truth. Like, here's the thing, someone from my past showed up. I'm not interested. I just want you to know what's going on, so that you don't feel like I've, left you out or am hiding something from you. So it does seem like a very healthy connection between these two because they feel comfortable to say, look, I want to make sure you know what's going on. I don't want you to be like blindsided by this if something gets dramatic, right? It's true. We have Vessel, body, nourishment, wholesome nutrition, and health. Dimensions, portals, astral travel, otherworldly, unseen, and metaphysical, and limitless, expand, spread higher, open-minded, and wishes. This Temperance, Queen of Swords has already got an understanding, or their intuition is telling them that a relationship with this magician is a good choice because they feel like they feel better from a physical standpoint. Maybe it's you're a good influence on me. I'm eating better, or I'm not, drinking beer anymore or whatever. There's something here where it's like, I feel like I make better decisions around you and I like that. And then they compare that to the King of Wands and they feel like it's more destructive or like self-sabotage behavior. So they feel like there's multiple reasons why this King of Wands is not a better choice for them than this magician, the new life. Only joking, I'm not here. How's it going, Drew? That's funny. Key, how could you? We've got fate. You are fated to meet this person, even if it's just to show you what you deserve in a relationship. Because I think this King of Wands was hoping you would settle for less, and now you have clarity thanks to this fated connection. Fated, by the way, to understand more fully what's beautiful in life and in love. Some of you may be connecting with someone who's very artistic. They came out as the magician, which generally is somebody who they have, resources at the ready, or they know how to leverage their skills or their gifts. So this could be somebody who's great on the piano. This could be somebody who is an athlete, but they have mastered a skill where they are seen as very capable and they know a lot about who they are. They could be very creative. But this is a good pairing for the two of you. All right, let's get into Lee's questions. This is the Everyday Tarot. Exactly. I had to clarify. Sometimes they are. All right. So is there anything that Lee needs to watch out for this week? Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Six of Swords in the reverse, Two of Swords. There is an offer or something pertaining to money that is discussed this week, and I feel like initially it seems like it works out, but if you do crunch the numbers or get into the details a little bit more, you realize this is not going to be a thing. No, thank you. This is like, maybe this job offer would be great, but it requires me to drive like an hour away, and then I calculate how much that actually takes off the salary as far as like gas costs and all of that. It's like, that's not even that much of a raise. There's something here about money that is kind of like a sneaky charge or something that is presented in a way where it's like, oh, that's a good deal. No, it's not. So take your time with this decision, because this could be like a marketing scam or a job offer that's not that great, or somebody who's, asking to borrow money. But this is saying, watch out, because the details are not quite as what you think. So take your time with that. Why was the club awkward? Why was the club awkward, please? We have Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Temperance, Page of Swords, and the World in the reverse. There's something here that has not been resolved, and it looks like it's an argument that has to deal with multiple people. I think as of right now, the story is known by a few people, and it seems to be rather truthful, but it's like the story isn't done. So I think we have some gossip or scandal that people are kind of on edge about, and it may not be something that everyone feels like they can talk about, or the Page of Swords would be in the reverse. This is like, I'm watching and waiting because I feel like something's about to happen, and then I'll have the tea. But I don't have the tea quite yet. So it has to do with somebody who might have a reputation for spending a lot of money, or it has to do with somebody who could be like a wife. Is there anything weird going on with the ex? Why, yes, there is. The High Priestess, a secret. There's a behavior that he is hiding from people. It could be an addiction. It impacts his mood. I don't know why I want to say, crap, what are they called? Steroids. Or some sort of supplement that has kind of put him in, it's like he's off balance. He's already got like some mood issues, but there's something here that's making it worse. The Sun in the reverse and the Hierophant in the reverse. And yeah, it's impacting his relationship. So I don't know, maybe that'll come out. Maybe people will see that more clearly. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. Hey, Roland, how's it going? If you're interested, no, I already said that part. You guys, sorry, I'm tired. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, the hyping, any of it. I will see you on the next reading. Doodles.